In the remote, mist-shrouded hills of Northumberland, England, stands a fortress steeped in nearly 1,000 years of blood-stained history. Chillingham Castle, with its formidable stone walls and ancient battlements, looks like something torn from the pages of a Gothic nightmare. Yet, what truly unfolds within its chilling confines has terrified and bewildered visitors for centuries. They call it the most haunted castle in England, a place where the veil between worlds seems impossibly thin. Tonight, we are not merely observing from a distance, we are stepping directly into the heart of its spectral embrace. Prepare yourselves, for the secrets of Chillingham Castle are about to be unveiled and its restless inhabitants are waiting. Built in the early 1200s, Chillingham Castle began its existence not as a fortress, but as a humble monastery. Its peaceful origins were short-lived, however, as it was soon fortified into a formidable stronghold against relentless Scottish invaders. For centuries, it stood as a brutal military outpost, a grim testament to an era of constant conflict and unimaginable cruelty. Prisoners of war, rebels, and those deemed traitors were dragged through its imposing gates, their fates sealed within its cold, unyielding embrace. What began as a necessary defense against external threats quickly devolved into a place of profound suffering and unspeakable acts. Its ancient stone walls, silent witnesses to countless atrocities, soaked up every scream, every desperate plea, every agonizing death, and every ounce of raw, unadulterated fear. Locals whisper that such intense suffering leaves an indelible imprint, a psychic residue that clings to the very fabric of the place. This enduring legacy of pain and terror is precisely why they say the castle has never truly known peace. The echoes of its dark past resonate through every corridor, a constant reminder of the horrors it has endured. Among the many tormented souls said to linger within Chillingham's walls, one of the most famous is the tragic figure known as the Blue Boy, often referred to as the Radiant Boy. For generations, guests who dared to sleep in what is chillingly called the Screaming Room reported, waking in the dead of night to the faint, mournful sound of a child crying from within the very walls themselves. They described a pale, ethereal figure dressed in tattered blue garments, glowing faintly with an otherworldly luminescence. His face, they recounted, bore a look of sheer, unadulterated terror, a silent scream frozen in time. The chilling phenomenon persisted for decades, a recurring nightmare for those brave enough to spend a night in that cursed chamber. Then, during extensive renovations in the early 20th century, workers made a horrifying discovery. As they broke through a thick section of wall, they uncovered the skeletal remains of a man and a young boy, hidden away for centuries. Among the bones were scraps of faded blue cloth, confirming the spectral accounts. After this grim unearthing, the ghostly apparition of the Blue Boy was rarely seen again. However, some sensitive visitors still claim that the faint, sorrowful crying never truly stopped, a lingering echo of a child's final desperate moments. Beneath the castle's imposing facade lies one of its most disturbing and profoundly unsettling spaces, the infamous torture chamber. Here, the grim instruments of medieval cruelty remain, silent witnesses to unimaginable agony. Devices like the rack, designed to stretch victims to their breaking point, and various cages and spiked chairs still stand, rusted and menacing. The cruelest of them all was the Iron Maiden, a terrifying contraption designed not for instant death, but to slowly pierce its victim with hidden spikes, prolonging their torment. Guides who lead tours through this macabre space often speak of the oppressive atmosphere. The air inside is said to be so heavy, so thick with residual dread, that many people refuse to step beyond the threshold, overwhelmed by an unseen force. Visitors frequently report inexplicable phenomena within these walls. Shadows seem to move on their own, shifting and dancing in the periphery of vision. Breath turns cold, condensing in the air even on warm days, and more than one visitor has fainted without any apparent medical explanation. Skeptics may dismiss these occurrences as mere imagination or the power of suggestion. Yet, how do you explain the sudden dramatic drop in temperature that envelops you the moment you cross the threshold into that chamber, a chill that penetrates to the very bone? The dungeons of Chillingham Castle were, in many ways, even worse than the torture chamber itself. These subterranean pits were not designed for interrogation, but for slow, agonizing death. Prisoners were often tossed down through a narrow hatch, left to starve in the suffocating darkness, their cries unheard and their pleas unanswered. Archaeologists conducting excavations beneath the castle made a truly horrifying discovery: heaps of human bones at the bottom of a deep well. This grim finding suggests that victims, after enduring unimaginable suffering, were simply thrown into the well, their bodies discarded like refuse. The sheer volume of remains speaks to the scale of the atrocities committed here. People who venture into the dungeons today report a range of unsettling experiences. Electronic devices, particularly cameras and ghost hunting equipment, frequently malfunction. Batteries drain inexplicably fast, and digital files become corrupted without warning, as if an unseen force is actively interfering. Many visitors also complain of sudden intense headaches that manifest the moment they enter the dungeons and miraculously vanish as soon as they leave the castle grounds, leaving them to wonder what malevolent energy clings to this place. But the Blue Boy is far from the only spectral resident of Chillingham Castle. The castle is a veritable crossroads for the departed, each with their own tragic tale. In the ancient chapel, a translucent figure known as the White Pantry Ghost is said to appear, a forlorn woman who endlessly begs servants for a simple glass of water before dissolving into thin air. Her thirst, it seems, is eternal. In another wing of the castle, visitors often catch the faint, unmistakable scent of roses, a delicate fragrance that carries a profound sadness. This is believed to be a sign that Lady Mary Berkeley, a noblewoman tragically abandoned by her husband, still wanders the desolate halls, forever searching for him, her heart broken and her spirit restless. Guards and caretakers who spend countless hours within these ancient walls have long claimed that they refuse to patrol alone at night. They speak of an undeniable presence, a constant awareness of unseen eyes. Every hallway creaks with phantom footsteps, whispers echo from empty rooms, and disembodied laughter drifts through the silence, sounds that simply shouldn't be there. The castle, they say, is never truly empty. From the mournful cries of the Blue Boy to the oppressive shadows of the torture chamber, Chillingham Castle has undeniably earned its chilling and formidable reputation. Whether these phenomena are the restless spirits of those who suffered within its walls, or simply the castle's dark, violent history echoing back at us through time, one thing remains undeniably certain. This ancient fortress is not merely stone and mortar. It is a living, breathing graveyard of memories, a repository of pain and sorrow that refuses to be forgotten. Its very foundations are steeped in the tragedies of centuries past, and its atmosphere is thick with the lingering presence of those who met their end here. So, the ultimate question remains, a challenge whispered on the cold Northumberland wind. Would you dare spend a night within the haunted confines of Chillingham Castle?